Hi everybody, welcome to your 4 to 5. Eric Chilton here. This is Chad Silver. That's Lauren Coleman. We have lots coming up for you.
Hey everybody, how are you guys doing on this Wednesday afternoon?
Pretty good. It's downhill.
Downhill.
From here on till Friday, easy.
Uphill, or I mean, a good
It's
way,
hump
right?
day. Yeah, in a good way.
Okay, because down, you should
No,
say
they
we're
always
on
say
uphill.
it's downhill
Okay,
from here
okay.
on out.
Easy,
Yes.
easy sailing
That's
from
right.
here on out, right?
Yeah, and so we're going to talk about forecast in a minute because we do have some changes coming up. Temperatures are a little bit up and down, but Saturday, even though we have rain, is going to be a really comfortable day. So
Great.
We'll have that coming up.
All right, more on that in a second, but first, we're getting new information related to the massacre at a Tennessee school. Nashville police say the shooting was targeted, but the ongoing investigation has not suggested any of the victims were targeted individually. Police have not determined a motive. Meantime, people gathered this morning to pay their respects at a growing memorial. The city is also planning a vigil tonight to mourn the lives lost. You'll remember a shooter opened fire at a private Christian grade school Monday morning, killing 3 children and 3 adults. Police later shot and killed the suspect.
Another big story we are following today, a change to a century-old gun law in our state. Starting today, there is one less step you'd need to take to buy a gun. State lawmakers overrode Governor Cooper's veto of Senate Bill 41. Effective immediately, applicants no longer need to go through a sheriff's screening process to own a gun. No more local background check or character evaluation. So how does this change the process? Ben Briscoe digs into it with Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page.
You want to purchase a handgun, you would no longer have to come to the sheriff to fill out the paperwork and apply for a purchase permit.
So what steps would I have to do?
If you wanted to purchase a handgun from a federal licensed dealer, a firearms dealer, then what would happen is you would go to a firearms dealer and you'd say you'd like to purchase a handgun, and then they would do a NICS check, National Institute check through the FBI. Then they would do that check on you. And if you pass the check, then they could make the sales.
What if I want to buy it from my neighbor?
Then again, if your neighbor wanted to do a transfer and you're not a prohibited person and that person knows you're not a prohibited person, then that neighbor could sell directly to you a handgun.
Without any kind of background check?
Under the current law. Yes, sir, as of today.
How do they tell whether or not I'm a prohibited person without a background check?
That would be the responsibility of the seller. You should know who you're selling to. Yes, sir.
What happens if a private dealer sells a gun to a prohibited person?
Then it would be in violation of federal law and state law.
And they could face what kind of penalties for that?
Well, it'll be a felony.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you.
Now, today's move has another important change. It allows gun owners to conceal carry at churches that share property with a school as long as the school is not in session. That part of the law takes effect December 1st. Both the NRA and North Carolinians Against Gun Violence reacted to the veto override. The state NRA director wrote, "These onerous laws have served no public service in North Carolina. This has been a hard-fought battle, and I'm thrilled to say North Carolina is a freer state because of the state legislature's actions." North Carolinians Against Gun Violence wrote, "Our legislature should be working to keep us safe from gun violence, not making it easier for prohibited people to get guns and put us more at risk." You might have questions about this change in the law, and the Alamance County Sheriff's Office answered some of those top questions about pistol permits. First, fees paid to the Sheriff's Office for a permit will not be refunded. Second, the Sheriff will not issue permits for any applications that are currently pending. And third, this law will not have any impact on concealed handgun permitting laws.
One person is recovering from injuries and police are investigating a motive after a report of an active shooter at a bowling bar and arcade at Four Seasons Mall. Greensboro police say they were called to round 1 around 1:30 this morning. Officers say they saw the suspect, 24-year-old Giuliano Postek, driving away before crashing into a blockade. Police negotiated with the suspect for about 30 minutes before he got out of the car. He was then taken to a hospital after EMS suspected he possibly had ingested narcotics. Postek now faces several charges. No one else was hurt.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up today, family members of the North Carolina woman killed in Mexico are in D.C. again, pushing for lawmakers to take action. They'll meet with White House officials next week. The lawyer representing Shanquilla Robinson's family says they wanted the suspect sent back to Mexico to face charges. You'll remember the former Winston-Salem State student died last October from a broken neck and spinal cord injury. The Vatican says Pope Francis will be in the hospital for several days for treatment of a pulmonary infection after a few days of difficulty breathing. They say the 86-year-old will need treatment for the next few days. The Pope has some other health issues, including a problem with his knee. He alternates between using a cane and a wheelchair in his public appearances. The founder of Starbucks has been called to testify before Congress about his company's efforts to prevent the coffee shops from unionizing. Starbucks has yet to sign a contract with any union at the more than 300 locations that have voted to unionize. The founder says he'll continue to negotiate in good faith with each individual store.
Well, a little chilly for us to start the day, but it ended up pretty comfortable out there. If you look at our time lapse here, there were a few clouds here and there, but we started out in the low 40s for a lot of you in the northern counties, some upper 30s there, but overall ended up being a pretty comfortable day. Winds were not as bad either as they have been recently, but still we'll see the wind gust here and there. It just won't be a problem. But 59 degrees in Greensboro right now, 60 in High Point. Winston-Salem, you show 59. We have 59 in Lexington and Asheboro at 57. Troy's all the way up to 62 degrees right now. There are the winds, no issues there, about 5 miles per hour, 5 to 10 as an average across the region. And we're going to see that northerly flow to the wind start to shift a little bit, and finally will gradually warm up. So lows tonight, which basically is your tomorrow morning forecast, mostly clear, that 38-degree overnight low with a high tomorrow of 64, and we expect to see a decent amount of sunshine tomorrow too. When you look at this across the region, we're in pretty good shape. Most of the cloud cover remains to the south, and it ends up being, even though it's a clear and cool night tonight, we will see a warming trend heading over the next few days. Look at this low of 38 tonight. There's the clear skies we talked about, sunshine and 64 tomorrow. Winds about 5 to 10 out of the north. Then they start to shift. We'll go up to 70 on Friday. It's a 50-50 shot of rain probably first half of the day on Saturday, but that's the warmest high at 77. After that, lots of sunshine for Sunday and 67, and we warm up again next week. We love these 70s. Sunny and 70 on Monday. Tuesday, a slight rain chance. We'll keep that 20% chance in for Tuesday and Wednesday, but highs are really comfortable, 73 and 76. That Wednesday high is 10 degrees above normal.
A group of women are making history in the Greensboro Fire Department. 3 women make up the arson team. It's the only time Greensboro has had an all-female fire investigation team. We spoke with 2 of them today. They say they like seeing people surprised when they show up to a scene.
When we roll up on scenes, it is funny sometimes. Everybody's like, oh, there's a female on the truck. And so we kind of giggle about it, but it's also good when you see the little girls run up to you and are like, wow, this is what you do. And so that's a good feeling.
It is a good feeling.
The trio calls themselves Charlie's Angels. They say no one should ever give up on their dreams. This is absolutely amazing. I was reading more into this, and they say that less than 15% of fire investigators are women. Wow. That's across the United States. So
to have an entire
honor to them.
Women team,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that they might be the first.
I love that they call themselves Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
That's
so
phenomenal.
cute.
They need shirts or some sort of little badge or something.
I love how they said the little girls run up to them. One of my really good friends, she used to be a firefighter in Durham for so long, and she said she would go to a scene and families would want to take selfies with her because they didn't see a lot of female firefighters and black female firefighters as that. So seeing these women out there, I'm sure, is really inspiring a lot of little girls that you can do anything, even jobs that you don't tend to see women doing all the time.
I noticed it before once, and my daughter, whose birthday is today, by the way. Drew
Happy
turns,
birthday,
yes, she's
Drew.
Oh, happy birthday, Drew.
She's 10 years old today. And when she was about 8, it was a couple years ago, I remember we were in downtown Greensboro and there was a female police officer there. And I do remember her walking and I was holding her hand and she turned around and she did a double take and looked back. And I said, what is it, sweetie? She goes, is that a girl? And I said, yes, that's a female police officer. And we went up and said hello. And that was the first time I think I really got to see firsthand what that means to a little girl to see that.
Yeah, because when you look in books and sometimes on television and even cartoons and different things, you always see like male, female in certain types of jobs and positions, and it's so important that we do these kind of stories to just encourage other people to seek different positions because it's important to diversify
That's
things,
true.
whether
Absolutely.
it's race, age, gender, all that good stuff.
Way to go, Charlie's Angels.
I know. Good for you. We're
We'll
going to
be
take
right
a
back.
break.
Schools across the country seem to have issues with filling teacher positions. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools says shortages in these positions are their biggest challenges. The school district says they have 127 vacancies, including 34 at the elementary level, 93 in middle school and high school, and that's across 81 schools. They say this week you can find the Winston-Salem Forsyth County recruitment team at Western Forsyth Tech and App State for recruiting events. We will have more information for this on our website.
The Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools is actually asking for millions of dollars for raises for teachers and administrators. Experts say North Carolina is the worst in the South when it comes to average beginning pay for teachers. They're hopeful a boost in the budget will help.
CMS is asking for over $12 million to go towards state raises for teachers and administrators.
I can't afford to live here. I want to teach. I can't take care of my children and live here. I can only teach if I have a spouse or significant other or partner so that we have a dual income household.
This is all a part of the district's $2.2 billion budget recommendation with hopes of attracting more teachers. CMS has one of the lowest average beginning pay for teachers in comparison to other districts across North Carolina, like Guilford and Wake County. They say this is a must-do investment, and higher pay is a big step towards helping them compete and staff up.
Boy, it's a shame, especially, you know, obviously the story was specifically about Charlotte-Mecklenburg, but I mean, we all know people who live in the Charlotte area, who live in the Raleigh area, and if you think it's expensive to live here, you should see how expensive it is to live there. And you really feel for that one woman who said she wants to be a teacher there.
Yeah.
She wants to stay there. She just can't afford it.
And this is something we're seeing across the country, right? These teacher shortages. And what's hard about this that I can't wrap my mind around is teachers are essential. They're essential to growing up the next generation, getting that foundation of a quality education. So why don't we pour into our teachers? In some countries, they're treated and paid like lawyers and doctors. I just don't understand that, because it's gotten to the point where some districts are hiring people that don't have a degree in education just because they're looking to fill these spots. So I feel like there's going to be a ripple effect on just the quality education of our students. And we want teachers who are passionate. We want teachers who actually want to be in the classroom.
Well, I mean, think about, you said it is the future of our country.
Absolutely.
Like our education as a whole makes us competitive with other countries, or it doesn't. So you have to make that decision.
I mean, even other states. Do you remember just before the pandemic, Texas was coming to North Carolina to recruit our teachers because they were paying significantly more, and teachers were going. Can't blame them, but I mean, it's like state versus state at this point.
Such a threat.
I hope we can pour more into our teachers. Our teachers are so important.
We're coming back. Stay there. You know, the good news, we're seeing this slow warming trend, not so much for our overnight lows tonight. They're still going to be chilly. But over the next few days, our high temperatures go until we build up to the upper 70s, we think, by Saturday. So kind of a good end to the week here. We have 59 degrees in the Triad. If we look at regional temperatures across the Carolinas, the 60 in Raleigh, 62 in Wilmington, Columbia, South Carolina at 65, and Charlotte at 60 even. Our hour by hour tonight, once the skies go perfectly clear, and we're almost there, just a few hours away from perfectly clear skies, we'll drop to the upper 40s, we think, by maybe 10:30 or so tonight, and then continue that drop down to the upper 30s. That will be our overnight low. We're all clear right now, except we did have a couple of high clouds and some during the first half of the day, but a lot of this is being pushed back down to the south with a ridge of high pressure building over the area. It kind of keeps all the bad weather away from us. If you look at our forecast planner, though, as we head into tomorrow, it will be chilly in the morning with upper 30s and low 40s, depending on where you are, kind of from top to bottom, right? Upper 30s in our northern counties. And then we build back up to the mid 60s with sunshine. It actually ends up being a really nice day. Take a look at our 7-day outlook, and we'll see sunshine tomorrow, 64. That's not bad. 70 on Friday. 20% chance of maybe a Friday evening shower. We'll watch for that. But overall, temperatures are good. 77 on Saturday. Morning rain, maybe the first half of the day, and then we'll clear it out. Sunday is 67 and lots of sun. A great way to end the weekend. Well, you know, a lot of folks, they collect things. I'm sure you have friends, or maybe you do that. Everything from figurines to toys to bottle caps, you name it. People collect everything. But one man's incredible, and I mean incredible, car collection is up for auction this weekend, and it's happening right here in Greensboro. I spoke with Johnny Ransom with the Greensboro Auto Auction about this unusual find, and you will not believe it. Take a look. Johnny, this says it all, man. I love it when this time comes. Now, you told me every car in here was from one guy, right?
Absolutely. His name was Jerry Smith out of Hiawassee, Georgia. He's passed away, unfortunately, but he was one of our largest customers over the years, and he had a huge museum, and he just loved cars.
So tell me about this one. 'Cause
this is for every new millennial, so to speak. It's got a new LS3 Corvette chassis, the whole nine underneath it, but it looks like old school look. You can drive it from here to California.
All right, now this one I love because I was a Burt Reynolds fan back in the day. Tell me about this.
Absolutely. This car was actually in the movie Hooper. Wow. And this was Burt Reynolds signed the hood, and he signed the dash on the inside of this also. This is a great car for a collector. Any collector would love this car.
And for people that don't know, when y'all see the sign that says no reserve, tell them what that means.
If it brings $1, it will be sold.
That's the highest bidder or whatever it is.
That's right.
Now, I've never seen something like this before.
Yes, this is Avante. You could actually order these and still order these, and they're still manufacturing them down in Florida also. So it's a unique car. It's almost like the movie Roger Rabbit in the day. You could see it. This is the same car.
So with this, this collection, you said it's probably one of the biggest you've ever seen.
It's the biggest that we've done here, and I've been fortunate to be able to have 200 cars, 30 motorcycles, 1,050 pieces of memorabilia.
Gosh. So Johnny, when I came in and saw this, and I'm used to seeing all the cars, but all this neon, tell me about that. You said there's two kinds of people.
Yeah, there is. There's the collectors for your collector cars, and then they've got your collectors for memorabilia. We got like 1,150 pieces of memorabilia. We got over 200 pieces of neon alone, 195 pieces of porcelain signs. I mean, if you're into the collectors of signs and neons and all kinds of memorabilia, he collected it all.
So these neon, a lot of people do this for their garages, right?
Absolutely. Everybody wants a nice neon in a garage. Every man loves it. Got a little man cave at their home. Everybody will be able to relate to this. They got them from the small to the big. It's this Cadillac sign to this 24-foot Thunderbird sign. We got every sign. We got it all.
This is awesome. Thank you for letting us come in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So
that's cool.
I mean, I've been there many times for these auctions and watched, and it's really cool because a lot of these, they'll have millionaires coming from all over the place, and they're in their suites that are up top, sometimes watching the car and bidding with paddles, the whole thing. But to me, the fact that all those cars, that's one guy's collection.
Yeah, I was asking you during the story, like, what did he do for a living? Because this isn't cheap.
No, it's millions of dollars worth of cars, and the way I understand it, he was in construction and real estate. Johnny said he kind of dabbled in a lot of things. things. But
Okay.
his family decided to get rid of the entire collection, and they brought it all up from Georgia, and it's all up for sale. And by the way, the tickets are $40.
Okay.
Anybody can go in if you just want to watch it. You know, it's a show,
yeah.
and you see these millionaires bidding on these cars, 100,000, 120,000. It's
I
fascinating.
need to take my dad to come out here because he keeps saying he wants his Sunday car.
Yeah.
And his Sunday car would be like an old school car, like one of these.
So I looked at one because there was a big old Cadillac from, I don't know what it was, probably 1970, I think. And I asked him, I said, so what does something like that go for? Because, you know, it's not a classic per se. He said 20 grand. So there are some that are affordable, and then you get like a Superbird or some rare car, and it's like 220,000.
And they're so beautiful and in great condition. You can see the fresh polish
are.
and shine. So he just placed these in a museum, you said, prior to. Did he ever drive them, or he just?
Probably drove some. You know, some people, they call their cars trailer queens. If they don't touch them, they just take them somewhere. But some of them you'll drive on the road, but some of those you don't want on the road. You don't want anything to happen to
What
them.
an awesome collection.
Yeah, I would just sit there eating popcorn.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
watching these people auction.
Yeah.
It's fun. I've been.
5 million.
Sold. All right, we're coming right back. Stay there.
As you know, North Carolina is well known for our sports. The biggest are basketball and golf, but there's another competition hoping to get added to the list.
Oh yeah, this summer will be the first ever North Carolina Massage Championship. The competition got its start in Denmark, but now it's coming to America. Each state will hold a competition, and you can be a part of it.
Whether you're a vendor, a person who wants to see how this works, or a competitor, registration and tickets are already online. The winner will advance to the American Massage Championships.
Now, Stephanie Ashcroft is the North Carolina State Director. She says there are 4 categories: chair massage, Swedish massage, clinical, and Thai. Ashcroft says it'll be a learning experience for everyone.
As a community that can come together of licensed massage therapists to really educate not only themselves but others, because that's what it's about. And there was no way we could do this without these pioneers already getting out there in the forefront.
Ashcroft says all the proceeds go to groups raising awareness about sex and human trafficking. She hopes the competition will help people understand how prevalent it is in the massage industry and encourages people not to go to massage parlors, but instead licensed massage therapists. North Carolina's competition is June 11th in Lake Junaluska. Yep. Didn't want to say that wrong,
I know
but
that place.
my first question when watching this is, how do I volunteer to be one of the people
bodies, right?
getting a
Yeah,
massage?
right.
I mean,
okay, I'll do it.
They're getting deep in there. You know, I've been stressed lately.
And that one girl, did you see she had her whole body weight on her knee and
Yeah.
that person's back? I'm like, goodness.
That would be so cool to be a part of.
And
But
this-
only, I can't give a massage to save my life, and I can't be a vendor, so I can just be a body.
Just be a body. Same here.
Experiment.
Very, very cool. It's so interesting, the different competitions that are out there.
And the different styles of massage. I was looking at some of that going, well, I don't even know what that is.
Or the
you know?
drumsticks. That's what I'm
Yes, I
trying
saw
to
that
figure
too.
out.
Interesting. All right, time for a break. Coming
Sign
back.
me up.
Attention than they used to get before when we didn't win games. I think this is just the new stand.
Hi, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check, mic check.
Check Jalen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool? Cool.
Welcome back to the 4 to 5. Eric, Chad, and Lauren with you today. Happy Wednesday.
I feel like this week is flying by. I
It's
can't believe
going
it's already
fast.
Wednesday.
I know, same with me too, and I don't know why.
I don't either. I've felt that all week long too, except because my schedule's all crazy right now. We got kid stuff going on. And I woke up this morning and I was like, what day is it?
Yeah, but you know, that's okay with me. It just means it's almost the weekend.
That's right.
And that weather, I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Look at that hot
absolutely.
shot.
It's going to be warmer each day going in towards Saturday too, so we'll talk about that coming up.
What a great day to have 28 NFL team reps in the triad today. Amanda Ferguson, it was a big one.
Yeah, a big day for Wake Forest football players hoping to play in the pros. 11 Demon Deacons participating in NFL Pro Day at Wake Forest today, a chance to put their skills on display for NFL teams to see up close and in person. 28 teams out here, just like Chad said. That's nearly every team in the NFL. It's a big deal for guys, but a lot to say about this talent that Wake Forest has in its program. Head coach Dave Clausen tells us what this day means for the players.
Well, this is, really a test they've been preparing for 5 and 6 and 7 years. And, then when the season's over, a lot of these guys know that there's certain question marks that they have to answer in their pro day, and whether it's how explosive they are, how strong they are, how well they run, their agility. And, they take it very seriously. And they've been doing a lot of these drills, and it's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure.
I
that
can't
is
imagine the
your
pressure.
moment to shine.
Your chance.
Because all these scouts, they see your stuff on tape, but this is really the first time that these teams get to see them in real life, up close, see what they can do, and you can also ask them to do certain things.
It never ceases to amaze me when you see the big guys, even like the linemen stuff, how fast they can run, and they're so big. Like, it's just amazing. They're great athletes.
I mean, think about you're not sleeping the night before, right? I mean,
I'm
nervous
sure.
you know that you've got 28 NFL teams coming in to watch you,
right?
And it will determine your future.
And I want to take a second to just reiterate how far this Wake Forest program has come. Dave Clawson said in his first year here, there were only 3 teams watching his guys. 9 years later, you've got 28. Wow.
And I mean, and this has nothing to do with Sam Hartman.
No.
Right? Because
no.
had he been here and been here for Pro Day, that would have made sense. But I mean, this is them on their own. Like, no
this
Sam
just
Hartman.
shows how far Wake Forest has come and how incredible this program has become under head coach Dave Clawson. I mean, you've seen the wins, you've seen the bowl games, but now you're seeing NFL teams.
That's cool.
Here in Winston-Salem in the Triad.
Awesome. Amanda, thanks. From one sport to another, Major League Baseball returns tomorrow. All 30 teams will celebrate opening day. Fans can expect some changes as the league tries to speed up the game and add more action.
The boys of summer are back, and baseball fans are ready.
I actually came all the way from Dominican Republic for this.
You did?
Yes.
For opening day?
Yes, for opening day.
All 30 Major League Baseball teams are in action Thursday, with some pretty big rule changes as they take the field. Pitchers will now have 15 seconds to throw a pitch, 20 seconds when a runner is on base, and batters must be ready to hit by the time the clock reaches 8 seconds. The new rules are clearly aimed at picking up the pace.
Which is great, because I hate to get home at 11 o'clock at night.
Another big change, the infield shift is no longer allowed, which means 2 players must be on each side of the infield.
We think the changes work together in order to promote getting the ball in play, giving fans more action, less downtime.
Of course, watching the game is just part of the baseball experience when fans come out to the ballpark. Don't forget the food and drink. At Fenway Park in Boston, this year's game day menu includes avocado fries, a New England maple bacon burger, and plenty of frosty beverages. But at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, don't expect plenty of 99 burgers. Sales of the burger named after Yankee slugger Aaron Judge will be limited to only 99 per game. Are you going to try and get one?
I'm definitely going to try and snag one of those. Definitely.
Fans in New York and at stadiums across the country are ready to score good eats and catch more action as the 2023 baseball season kicks off. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
And on the minor league level, we are just a week from opening day for some of our local baseball teams. The Winston-Salem Dash will hit the road for their first game next Thursday. Their home opener is April 11th. The Greensboro Grasshoppers open the season next Friday, and their home opener is April 18th. You can see Guilford is excited about this. He started his countdown last week, just 3 weeks away from returning to First National Bank Field.
Well, and our weather is starting to shift a little bit. We're seeing more 70s in our forecast than cooler weather, so it's looking good over there. We got a little bit to go, though, till we get to that 77 that we think we'll see on Saturday, actually. We're at 59 right now in the Triad. A little bit of a chilly start to the morning. We'll see that again tomorrow. We're looking for overnight lows tonight, which basically is your step-out temperature in the mornings between upper 30s and low 40s, just depending on where you are. So it will be a little chilly. It's 60 in Raleigh right now, 58 in Fayetteville, 62 in Wilmington, and hour by hour tonight, dropping down to about 53 by 8 p.m. We think once we get to midnight, we're in the 40s. Again, that expected overnight low at 38. All clear right now, mostly sunshine. We'll go out to a wider shot. You can see to the south, there's a little bit of rain in Louisiana. It's approaching the New Orleans area, and that's about it for precipitation in the southeast for right now. And that high pressure ridge should remain in control and keep a lot of that to the south. Planning forecast does show that chilly start to the morning, followed by mid 60s, but again, more sunshine than not in this long long-range forecast. Here's your 7-day with sunshine at 64 tomorrow. We'll go to the low 70s for Friday and then upper 70s on Saturday. How about 77? Now, morning rain on Saturday, and we hope we'll get it out of here by afternoon. By the time we get to Sunday, we'll clear out a good bit. Sunshine is 67, and there's that temperature build again. 70 on Monday, 73 Tuesday, 76 by Wednesday, with only a slight shower chance for Tuesday and Wednesday.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, here in Guilford County, 11% of the population is made up of people born outside of the United States. The staff at Pierce Elementary School decided that was something they wanted to celebrate today, hosting a multicultural day. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey was there to catch up on all the fun.
Yeah, Lauren, families from 14 different countries made their way to the gym at Pierce Elementary to introduce students to countries and traditions outside of their own in hopes of getting one main point across.
The world we live in today is so big, and we might all be at Pierce Elementary, but we have so many different things to share and honor about our different cultures.
The student body at Pierce Elementary School is made up of families from all over the world.
Well, we always say diversity makes us stronger, and as a Pierce community, not being able to be together for so many years with the pandemic, it's just been great for the kids to learn about different countries.
Parents and faculty alike put together presentations for kids to come check out, so they can learn about different countries and cultures while making it fun and engaging at the same time.
I just think it's a great opportunity to one, talk about your country, but secondly, it just enhances everybody's feeling of we're all one big happy family if we just get along.
Even one of the assistant principals took this as an opportunity to show her students about her homeland.
We are a melting pot, right? And within our school alone, we have over 20 different nationalities. And what better way to highlight that than to celebrate it?
Today's events allowed kids to taste new foods, learn some new dances, and dive into a new culture that they may not have known about until this program.
Absolutely love that. When you can learn about other cultures without physically getting on a plane, they brought it to them, and it looked like a lot of fun and activities out there.
A lot of elementary schools do this. I remember my school doing this as a kid, and I thought it was fascinating to go from each. But when I was young, I was always fascinated with meeting someone from another country. And when I went to Disney for the first time, I remember when you go to Epcot, and the people are actually from the countries that you. I think that's so cool.
And my favorite part, obviously, as a kid, I was just like, wow, all the food from all the different
Yes,
places. So good.
yes. When I was in high school, we used to have a multicultural day where there was a talent show and people would do different dances, and then each class, whether you were taking French, Spanish, Chinese, whatever, you had some type of project. And then we had a big feast, and we could invite our parents and everything. Wow. It was a lot of fun.
The number one thing I took away from today was just how enthused the kids were for knowledge, right? They had so many questions, whether they knew where the country was or if they'd never heard of it before. They just wanted to know. They wanted to be embrace the culture and everything that came with it. Awesome. And I think that's the most important thing.
It's so important, and to start that at a young age too, so when they get older they can become more well-rounded, so when you're put in spaces with other people, you won't, you just know what questions to ask and how to act.
Yes. I was also very fascinated that you said that 1 in 10 people in Guilford County was born outside the United States. That's a high number.
Isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of diversity here. We have that multicultural dance Fight for Hunger Fest event every year, and there's so many different cultures.
Yeah, great job, Jalen. Thank you. Well, no matter what country you were born in, Tax Day is just about 2 weeks away on April 18th for everybody. Students at Williams High School in Burlington are working hard to file returns. Accounting and finance students are working with the IRS to offer free tax help to low-income families. All students completed accounting courses or are enrolled in honors accounting classes. Last year, students prepared more than 70 tax returns that led to $75,000 in state and federal tax refunds.
With prom right around the corner, there's a long list of to-dos to prepare for the big night. Today, Camille's Closet and Theo's Threads pop-up shop open for teens to get free prom attire. Take a look.
And this is where teens, both middle and high school students, can come and shop for items for prom or, a dance that they're having for free. And we have everything from dresses, shoes, accessories. We have suit jackets, pants, dress shirts. We have got you covered.
Look at all the beautiful dresses. Students, you don't have to be from Guilford County to check out the pop-up. They are open tonight and tomorrow evening, as well as Saturday. We do have all this information posted on our website, WFMYnews2.com. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
see. Ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together. Like. All right, I took these pictures in our vending machine, right? This is how you know Pepsi, at least since 2008. This is the logo, but no more. There's a new logo in town. Drum roll, please. Yes, I see. Don't you love the drum roll? All right, here it is. Let's show it to you. The new Pepsi logo was just unveiled. You're going to see it widespread by this fall. So Pepsi's 125th anniversary is coming up. So the logo is new, but really, doesn't it look reminiscent of the logo?
It looks quite the same.
Okay, that you grew up with like in the 70s and the 80s, right? So the Pepsi is all together. The one that I took from the vending machine, there's the circle, but then the Pepsi's underneath, right?
Oh,
yeah, that's throwback to me.
Okay, so we're gonna go to this early. So here we go. Okay, we're gonna take a walk down history lane. It was 1898. Brad's drink was a mix of sugar, water, caramel, lemon oil, cola, nuts. These were all the different logos, and I'm trying to catch up here. 1951 is the logo that we actually remember, right? And then through the years, it has changed somewhat, but it's only really been the font that has changed really in the last probably like 30 years. Get this, in 1908, Pepsi switched from horse-drawn cart delivery to motor vehicles.
Oh, cool.
Can you just think about that? That's in this,
Right. It's funny that that there have been through so many logos, and for me, when a product changes its logo, it doesn't take me long to forget what the old one looked like.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though it was here for 30 years.
I'm looking at this one, I almost forgot what it looked like.
Right, of course, sure.
When I was in college, I did a time capsule for our senior class, and we buried it, and then 25 years later, I put Pepsi and Coke cans in there. And so when we brought them out, I was like, oh my gosh, I had forgotten that that's the way it looked.
It looked, yeah. And so we all know, right, Pepsi is a North Carolina product, right, in New Bern and all of that kind of stuff. Pepsi was in 24 states, get this, by 1908. When you think of like how big it was early on, that in half of the states, it was there.
I had a director friend of mine at a TV station in Wilmington when I was right out of college, and he told me that his great-grandfather, his friend said, I'm starting a company, do you want in? It was this.
It was
and
Pepsi.
he said, no, I don't know.
I don't really like that.
A soda, no.
Never heard of it.
Not
It all starts with that one idea. All the big companies that we see today.
So do we know why the name? Pepsi.
Is it an acronym?
It's not an acronym.
Was it the name of a pet?
It was
it
not the
Pepsi?
name of a pet, but you know what's funny about that is my grandfather's last name was Kohler, and all of his dogs were named Pepsi Kohler.
Cute. I like that it was just the dogs. Didn't want to subject the humans.
No, don't subject the kids. So the inventor of Pepsi was a dropout medical student who went to UNC Chapel Hill, by the way, for his undergrad.
Okay.
So there's another North Carolina thing. He said that cola was healthy and would aid in digestion, getting its roots from the word dyspepsia, which means digestion.
Interesting.
I remember
like that
my
fun
grandmother saying, "Sip on a soda to settle your stomach." I remember that.
Of course. All right. So you've got a little something going on with Pepsi.
Yes. So I asked everybody on the Facebook page the age-old question: the battle, Coke or Pepsi? We're going to see what the verdict is here. This one cracked me up. Candy said, I live in a divided house, sort of like ACC teams. Coke for me, Pepsi for my husband. Pepsi is way too sweet, and I am already sweet enough. Peggy said, Pepsi. It's a family tradition. My dad started it. He used to hide them outside in the snow to get them cold and icy. Lynn says, whichever one is on sale is good for me. I like them both. And then Cindy says, Coke, fresh, keeps its spunk. I guess that means fizz. And she said the small glass bottles are the best. Now, I would agree with that. I would think the little small glass bottles are awesome.
I'm not really big on either, but I would have to say Pepsi, because growing up, my mom would buy the Pepsi, but I always felt like more people liked Coke growing up.
Interesting.
See, in the way that I thought about it, probably no truth to it, that people up north liked Pepsi and people down south liked Coke.
That's interesting.
And so when in South Florida, when I was growing up, if you wanted a soda, you would say, hey, do you want a Coke?
Yes.
We would never say, do you want a Sprite? Do you want a Mountain Dew? Do you want a Dr. Pepper? It just was blanketed, do you want a Coke?
It's a generic term.
I can hear that. And then they would give you Sunkiss.
Or whatever, yes. Yes.
Do you like to make floats with Pepsi
That's
or
my
Coke
favorite.
or whatever?
I don't do any of that.
Oh, really?
I like root beer floats.
I do not like root beer. I'm one of the
Really?
few people in the world that
I
doesn't
love
like
root beer. I buy they have the sugar-free ones now, the zero sugar root beers. Keep those in my fridge at all times.
At all times?
Yeah, I've been buying them for the past few months. I posted it on my Facebook.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
The White House Easter egg roll is just around the corner, and a North Carolina-based Braswell Family Farms will be providing 30,000 hard-boiled and dyed eggs. Egg prep was underway today to get ready for the big event on April 10th. Their family has been producing eggs in Nashville, North Carolina for decades. This is actually a picture here coming up of the original mill in 1943. The family donated eggs to the White House roll last year as well. Boy, think about how much, Tan, you talked about this a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
just about the process that goes into getting these eggs ready.
Did you see them? They were dyeing with these huge vats instead of like us with a little bowl and the little aluminum thing.
Really, really cool to see all the different colors and everything like that. And such a fun event. I told you guys I went when I was in the 2nd grade and it was a lot of fun.
I used to love dyeing Easter eggs when I was a kid.
I did too.
So we would, and maybe everybody, maybe this was universal, but you draw with a crayon on the
That's
egg,
right.
and then you dye it, and then the crayon design shows up once the egg comes out.
It was PAAS, or P-A-A-S, was the kit that everybody
yes.
bought. I remember that. Yeah, so cool. All right, let's talk about our forecast. We've got a warm-up coming up over the next few days. No arguments with that. We don't mind if you get up close to 78 degrees on Saturday. We'll go 77. It's going to be comfortable. We do see a little rain coming in possibly Friday night, so get to that in a minute. All clear right now. You can see even our cameras on either side of the map here look pretty good. Clear skies across our area for now. Most of that cloud cover should stay to our south. So we'll be clear tonight for overnight lows. Now that also drops us down to upper 30s for overnight lows, we think. The next system approaching, look at the top right corner there, that's Saturday afternoon at about 4:50 p.m., so just before 5 o'clock, and that line is moving through, probably pushing through, I would say, the first half of the day on Saturday. By the time we get to Saturday night, we'll probably start to clear back out again. But temperatures are really good over the next few days. 38 for the overnight low tonight. We've got that high tomorrow of 64 with lots of sun. It's a 20% chance of an evening shower Friday with a high of 70. Saturday morning rain and 77, and then clear and cooler on the backside of the front. Sunshine 67 on Sunday, 70 and sunny on Monday. Next week looks great. 73 and 76 as we build temperature-wise for Tuesday, Wednesday. Both of those days, a 20% chance of a shower.
One, two, three, four. Amber drives a car.
Sarah smile.
Hey there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hall & Oates, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hi there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together. Classic combination like a dark delicious cookie meets an ice cold sensation.
I know. Oh, did you say me? 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Check, 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 check.
Hey, hey, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Hi, sorry about that. Just got it on. We are talking about gun permits.
time for my 2 cents. We begin our broadcast with breaking news. Police are investigating a school shooting in Nashville. 3 children and 3 adults were shot and killed Monday morning after a shooter broke into a school in Tennessee. When the reports rolled into our newsroom, I remember grabbing my chest and saying, "Not again." It was around this time last year a gunman opened fire at an elementary school in Texas, killing 19 students and 2 adults. When is enough enough? When does it stop? How does it stop? Questions I ask myself every time we get reports of another school shooting. We say we pray for the victims. Politicians release statements saying their thoughts and prayers are with the families. But how do we find a solution to this ongoing problem of hate and violence? Is it gun control? Is it more guns? Is it an investment in mental health services? The great Maya Angelou once said, "Hate, it has caused a lot of problems in the world, but has not solved one yet." I don't have all the answers, but I do know we can make it our personal goal as people to try our best to treat others with love and respect. Smile at the next person you see walk past. Say hello to that man or woman who never speaks in the office. We never know what people are going through or what burdens they carry, but a simple act of kindness may just be what it takes to help end a cycle of hate. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFNY News 2 at 5 starts now.
The 6 victims shot and killed during a deadly school shooting in Nashville are being remembered in Tennessee and here in the Piedmont Triad. The suspect